Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fantasy Theory. Today we're going to cover one of my favorite movies of all time, The Matrix. Now, I was rewatching The Matrix recently, and though it came out in 1999, I gotta say the film looks really good, VFX-wise especially. It's still holding up to today. I remember when I first saw it, and still to this day, I wondered what happened to cause the war between humanity and the machines in the first place. We learned more about the war in the two sequels, but still we never really got to see how the machines took over and turned humanity into biological batteries. I always thought that would be really cool to see on screen, but just because we haven't seen it yet, doesn't mean there isn't an explanation. An explanation that some may find surprising, since we have seen how merciless and destructive the machines can be in the films. But it turns out the war that brought humanity to its knees was actually initiated by us, and not the machines. It all came crashing down when the artificial beings constructed their own sovereign and independent capital. During the late 21st, early 22nd century, long before the events in the first Matrix film, the machines had their own home, their own promised land situated in the Middle East near Mesopotamia, the source of humanity's own civilization thousands of years prior. This unique capital was known as well the Machine City, or 01. This technologically advanced and peaceful metropolis had open trade with their human neighbors, selling them goods such as the ingenious hoverpad, which generated an electromagnetic field that was powerful enough to cause the circular platform to be suspended above ground, allowing for flight. Along with this, the machines also released the Versatran, the world's first truly functional and commercial flying car. With tech like that and many other innovations, it didn't take the machines long to make 01 a prosperous and leading global superpower. However, the artificial beings desired an equal partnership with humanity, where they would have all the same rights and freedoms as their flesh and blood originators. A desire that the humans were not compelled to grant, as instead they watched with dread their mechanical offspring continue to innovate newer and exponentially more advanced technology, to the point that they were able to create an enhanced AI that was present in every facet of human society. These incredible advances, while bringing wealth and power to the machines, simultaneously caused humanity to see their own global influence and economic power diminish, a situation the United Nations found intolerable. Though the Machine City's ambassadors beseeched the International Assembly for peaceful coexistence, humankind answered the machines' pleas with a nuclear strike on 01. The destruction was massive, with the devastating nuclear weapons laying waste to the Machine City. Though, not from a lack of trying, humanity ultimately, however, failed to eradicate all of the machine inhabitants of 01, as they hadn't been able to completely annihilate the entirety of the technologically advanced city. In response to the attack and attempted genocide, what remained of 01 began to build war machines that quickly spread throughout the rest of the world, invading every human nation, until, in a last desperate attempt, humankind devised a plan to deprive their artificial enemy of their power source by deploying nanites into the upper atmosphere to block the sun's rays from the surface of the earth. This ill-thought-out operation was known as the scorching of the sky, an event that led to humanity's overthrow and defeat. Now, with humanity no longer standing in their way, but having no access to the sun's rays, the machines decided instead to expand 01's size to colossal proportions and utilized massive crab-like defenders as part of the enormous defense system that surrounded the mechanical metropolis. Then, as an effective substitute for the sun, the machine's new power source was a combination of nuclear fusion with specialized power plants that were powered by the neuroelectric energy of the billions of human beings that were hooked up to the Matrix. At the Machine City Center was the Deus Ex Machina, their mainframe computer that was in control of every machine's activity. This was the very same place Neo would later negotiate a truce between humanity and the machines, on the condition that he put a stop to Agent Smith, who had become a virus and a threat to 01. If humanity had just decided to coexist with their creation, we would not have ended up having our bodies used to charge the very city we attempted to destroy. Humanity wouldn't be existing in a perpetual dream, but perhaps instead, together with the machines, could be heading towards a brighter and technologically more advanced future in the real world. We could have even colonized the solar system in a peaceful and productive partnership. Or it would all have ended up like the Terminator, which it pretty much did. But the machines were humanity's invention. We brought them into the world, and when we attempted to end the existence of the very beings we had given life to in the first place, and I use the word life loosely, we sealed our own fate. We created the machines. We created the war. It is humanity's own fault that we ended up in the Matrix.